Welcome to the Institute for Strategic Policy Solutions. My name is Kimberly Jackson, and I'm the Executive Director. We're honored today to work with Congressman Gus Bilirakis, who for many years has had a VA resource fair. And of course, in light of COVID, we've had to change that. I'd like to tell you briefly about what the Institute does. We are a think tank for St. Petersburg College that's located on the campus of Seminole, our Seminole campus. And our goal is to bring civil discourse and discussion about nonpartisan issues and social, political, and economic on topics. And these topics will help us help the community better. So I'm honored today to speak to yet another person who's providing services to the community, Stephen Davis with United Way of Pasco. And I'd just like to have a little bit of conversation with you about what you do. So many people know your name, but what is it that United Way does?
Yeah, thank you so much for actually inviting me and the United Way of Pasco County. And also thank you to Congressman Bilirakis' office for their continued advocacy for the veteran community. At the United Way of Pasco County, our mission is to identify the most pressing needs in the community and develop resources to address those needs through measurable results. Okay,
so then how do you go about doing that?
So the primary revenue generation for us is through workplace campaigns. So we run workplace campaigns to develop resources, and we allocate those resources to nonprofit agencies in the community based on the community needs. So we go through an allocations process that kind of looks at the needs of the community and chooses which nonprofit agencies to fund and become partners. Last year, we chose to fund about 40 nonprofit agencies, allocating about $1 million to those agencies within the community.
And of those agencies, do those agencies specifically care for veterans in some way?
So there's a lot of overlap.
Yes.
So a lot of the issues that we're funding disproportionately affect veterans. So we fund probably about 2 agencies that you already spoke to today: Bay Area Legal Services, One Community Now. Those are some of our partners. I also think the board wants to also put a little bit more focus behind some veteran initiatives. So I think you'll see that in our upcoming grant cycle that's just concluding probably in October as well. So we fund a lot of different programs from housing needs to food needs, so a variety of things.
So how do you go about this data? So for example, for Pasco, do you talk to veterans themselves? Do you just drill down the geographic makeup? Do you drill down equity challenges with housing insecurity or food insecurity or employability? How do you determine how you're going to allocate the funds based on what you said is the data from the community needs?
So we have an all volunteer allocations process. So we recruit a lot of variety of people to sit on our allocations committee. Last year we had probably over 100 volunteers from the community that sit down on these panels as these agencies come and present their needs. And people from the community who know the community best are looking at it and deciding where to put those resources to best address the needs of the community as well. At the end of the day, our board is also making huge decisions as well, and they're really attuned to the community as well.
How many applications do you have?
This most recent cycle, we had about 70 applications, about $2 million in funding. Most of the time, the asks are at least double what we have to allocate as well.
So you had 70 applications, but you were able to fund 40 agencies?
Yes.
So do you go, for veteran-specific resources, do you go and do you share with them how to apply, how you can help them prepare a better grant so that they can, show the need in a different way? I understand the grant process. I sit on a grant process as well as for the arts. But it is challenging when you have smaller agencies who are doing amazing work but may not know how to access the funds appropriately.
Yeah, most definitely. So we do a little bit of community outreach as well to different nonprofit agencies. Some of them don't necessarily know about all the resources available. So we seek them out, our board members seek them out, our volunteers seek them out as well. Our CEO is pretty experienced as well and gives a lot of insight to a lot of these nonprofit agencies as far as what we look for in our grants as well. So we try to do our best to make sure that when they're applying for the grants, they're most prepared.
Well, I have to say, with at least One Community Now that I just spoke to prior to you, that's an amazing resource. The money is well funded, and so partnering with agencies like that to make sure the veterans get what they need is just really outstanding and important. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our veteran community about how they can access services or be a better partner with them?
Yeah, most definitely. So what we're also known for is our 211 line. So when you call 211, it's going to connect you to resources throughout the whole community. I can speak for Pasco County that you can call on 211 on your phone, your cell phone, your landline. I know it varies to different counties, but in Pasco County you could call on cell phone 211 and let them know what your needs are, and they can connect you to these nonprofit partner agencies as well.
So by responsible, do you say, do you run 211? Do you fund 211? What do you mean by that?
So our organization, we fund 211. So we use a third party that has a 24-hour line so that they can pick up at any time and handle those call volumes. I mean, we get tens of thousands of calls a year.
211 has been very instrumental, at least in Pinellas County. So I understand the volume you must go through to help triage services. When a person calls 211 to get to the right service quickly, what do you recommend they say?
I would recommend telling them exactly what they need. Don't beat around the bush. Just say, this is exactly what I need. I need written assistance. I owe this certain amount. Just call them and be straightforward with exactly what you need.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for your time. I would like you to share any deadlines you have, if you know, of the application process, so people know when to apply to obtain the resources.
Yeah, definitely. So we actually just wrapped up the allocations process this most recent time, and those results should be announced in October. Around springtime is when we normally send out our RFPs and ask for letters of intent. So if you're looking to get some funding, definitely reach out to us come next year.
Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you so much for everything. Thank you.